Hello, welcome to Suleika channel. Today's topic is about inconsistency behaviors and a self-reflection. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel to support it. I also have links to my social media accounts if you want to get to know more about me. And thank you for listening. So today I just want to talk briefly about a reflection of today. So I was reading through an email, right? And I came across to a sentence of a paragraph that said inconsistency between the commitments we make and our actions. So as soon as I finished reading that, it's like I felt like, wait, this resonates a lot with my problems, like it sounds like this could be one of the core issues on why I keep failing in everything I try to do, or at least that's what I thought, right? So I selected it and I searched it on Google, and you know how we have now these AI search results that are like a mix of AI response and parts of different websites to kind of like put together the answer, right, to what you're asking or looking for. So I want to read through all of it, and I'll make my point once I'm done reading. So it goes like this. It says, inconsistency between commitments and actions can stem from various factors, including conflicting priorities, lack of accountability, or self-doubt. This discrepancy can lead to feelings of discomfort and a desire to resolve the conflict, either by changing behavior or adjusting one's beliefs. And then here are some reasons for inconsistency. Shifting priorities. Life changes like job transitions or relationship shifts can lead to altered priorities, making it difficult to maintain consistent behavior. Overwhelm and burnout. Taking on too much can result in feeling overwhelmed, leading to abandoning commitments or struggling to stay consistent. Lack of accountability. Without external pressure or oversight, individuals may not feel compelled to follow through on commitments. Self-doubt. Uncertainty about one's abilities can lead to second-guessing decisions and inconsistent behavior. Procrastination. Delaying tasks or decisions can disrupt consistency, especially when distractions arise. Poor time management. Ineffective time management can make it challenging to fulfill commitments. So now, addressing inconsistency. Commitment and consistency principle. Recognizing the psychological drive to remain consistent with past actions can be leveraged to build positive habits by making public commitments. Leveraging accountability. Public commitments, like announcing goals to friends or family, can increase motivation to follow through. Understanding commitment bias. Recognizing the tendency to escalate commitment to past decisions, even when outcomes are negative, is crucial for making better choices. Addressing self-sabotaging behaviors. Individuals with commitment issues may undermine their own efforts in relationships or long-term endeavors. Recognizing these behaviors is the first step towards overcoming them. Honoring commitments. Even when facing operational pressures, strategic commitments should be treated with respect and effort. Building trust. Holding ourselves and others accountable for commitments can foster optimism and trust in relationships. So, that's everything, right? That I read from the response. And I'm not gonna lie, when I finished reading all of this, it kind of helped me open my eyes in some way of realizing that, this makes so much sense. Um, Sometimes, you know, self sabotage is real. We may think we're actually trying our best, but deep inside, we're really not. But we tell ourselves we are because that's the lie we keep feeding. At the end of the day, there's gonna be a lot of people involved, and probably their opinion can matter to you or affect you, or even not, right? But at the end of the day, the version that really matters is your version. And because your version is the most important one, it's very important that you are being honest with yourself, that you actually can pay attention to what you tell yourself. And any time, that you encounter that you see yourself failing in something, really ask yourself, is this really happening because I give my best and I wasn't lucky this time? Or what is it, right? Or is it because I'm actually not trying my very best of my mental capacity, my emotional intelligence, my physical capacity, my spiritual sense of awareness, right? Are you being honest with yourself? For example, something, let's say an example, that you start working too much and then you don't even have time to hang out with your friends, to do anything, because you're just extremely busy with work. Your workload is just like a snowball that is just following you while you're climbing down the mountain, and the faster you go trying to get away from it, it just catches you up more and more. But okay, maybe some of you may have jobs that require you a lot of hours, right? That you have to put in the effort for, but really ask yourself, is this actually something that I cannot change? Do I really not have control over any amount of work that I do? Can I really not delegate any part of my job to anyone else? And if not, then what's the worst it can happen if I don't turn this in? Can I really look for help? Or am I just being stubborn because I don't think nobody can do it like I do it? Because behind all of those phrases, each one of them carries a deeper unconscious meaning. For example, you know that if you do have free time, you're gonna take care of yourself. You're gonna start taking care of yourself, or you will have time. So, when people around you knows that you have free time, they're gonna want to spend time with you. And if you're not busy, then one day you're gonna run out of excuses, right? Eventually, you're going to run out, and you're gonna have to tell them the truth, right? And since you don't want all of that to happen, what do? You get yourself extremely busy with work, so you don't even have to face those kind of scenarios, right? You can just run away and blame it on your job, on the situation, on family, on whatever it is that you do to justify not complying with the commitments you previously made. Or sometimes, let's say, for example, when you self-doubt yourself and you start second guessing everything you're doing, or maybe not everything, but a part of your life, you start to feel insecure, and then what do? You just give up. You just give up on trying, because you start thinking, well, what's the point if I'm still gonna fail? Or if I may fail, and then what? Everyone's gonna laugh about me that I didn't succeed, and everyone's gonna look at me like a big failure. What if you start changing the way you look at things? What if you switch your thinking into a different perspective? Like, acknowledge that nobody who became successful made a huge success overnight with no effort from one day to the other. That's not how it happens. You have to build yourself to become the person that your successful future self needs to be in order to be there, in order to get there, right? So if you have an impactful life change, that's definitely going to change your way of thinking and you're going to shift priorities. But here we're talking more about what becomes a habit. Something that sometimes we even see as something small, so small that we don't think it even needs attention because it's not seen as important. Procrastinating your homework, procrastinating things you have to do, bills you have to pay, or maybe you have some people you owe some debt to, or maybe you know that you have to call your family or that friend, but you're not doing it. You just keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, or I'll do it after I'm done with this event, or I'll do it once I'm done with my finals, or I'll do it and the excuses can go on and on. If you know you have to do something, do it. Because every time you lie to yourself and that you say you're going to do something and then you actually don't do it, that's also going to create even more self-doubt in the future, because you know that you are not even reliable to yourself. You're not dependable because your word has no value to you. So how do you expect to have an abundant, successful life if you can even be accountable of how you are playing a big part into the outcome of your own life? Also, here it's mentioned poor time management, and I'd like to say something else about this one. So here I want to introduce a topic about learning disabilities like ADHD, ADD, autism, dyslexia, dysgraphia, to name a few, right? And I think it's very important that all of us, at least once in our lifetime, preferably do it again as an adult if you're really young listening to this, but I believe every one of us should at least try to get an assessment at least once for any type of learning disabilities, because I'm noticing there's many of us out there that don't even know that we have a disability, and just the simple fact of not knowing that you have it can create so many challenges for your life ahead in every single way, not just professionally, but also in your personal connections, in your personal relationships, in your hobbies, activities you do, the way you understand and see life, and the way you handle things. There's so many things that could help you out if you know you have a disability, and then you can get yourself informed about it, do more research, and then from there you'll be able to understand yourself more and why maybe you act the way you act, or maybe why you need some extra help learning new stuff, right? And I'm talking about this because the learning disabilities can also influence the way you manage time, because and by saying this, I'm not saying that everyone who has a learning disability has poor time management. That's not what I'm saying, but there are a significant amount of individuals who have an issue with time management who also have a learning disability, because simply the brain is wired in a different way, and that makes it be just different, right? At the end of the day, it's going to be a completely different brain that may struggle more with time management than the average people. Anyways, so this made me realize and reflect about how important it is that we are honest with ourselves, that we question ourselves, everything we do, everything we think, everything we think we want, even to make sure that I know it's hard in this world, like constant marketing everywhere. You get out of your house, there's marketing, there's publicity, there's advertising everywhere. You're in your home, in your computer or your phone, and you'll see ads everywhere. There's always going to be people out there trying to sell you something, a product, a service, an idea, a lifestyle, a way of thinking, or even a false idea of something. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there trying to sabotage others, spreading false beliefs, just playing around with the mind. So I think it's very important, and I always encourage this, to try to have your own way of thinking. Try to break off the stigmas and the things that you've been taught. Unlearn all of that and learn to listen to yourself, to your higher self, not the ego, not the person you think you are, but everything else but that. And the more you connect with yourself, you'll be able to understand why you behave the way you do, and to honor your own word over everything else. To remind yourself that being consistent is going to take you more far away in life. That having commitments is not a bad thing, but actually a person who is able to be responsible of their own commitments and make them happen speaks very highly of someone. Definitely a very good trait that you can find in someone valuable. In order to do this, we have to let go of the bias we have, of the stigmas, to start to be accountable for what we really want to achieve in life. And at the end of the day, nobody else is going to care more about our own success than ourselves. Yes, you may be blessed and have someone who cares a lot about you, maybe. But at the end of the day, what you think of yourself is what matters the most. Build the trust in yourself. Listen to your heart. And always take the choice that will bring peace to your soul. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next time.